going to be trying out the Healing Curls line by Lanza. And now this is a brand that may or may not be new to you. You might have heard about it, you might not have. It isn't a new brand at all. This is one of those brands that I was introduced to in cosmetology school 30 years ago. And for whatever reason, I really haven't been using their products throughout those 30 years nearly as much as some other ones. However, it is a really good brand, and there were some products that they had back then that I really enjoyed. So I thought I'd give these a try because I believe this line is definitely newer. And I have the Curl Boost Activating Spray, the Curl Whirl Defining Cream, Curl Flex Memory Gel. We're gonna start with the Curl Boost Activating Spray, and this says that it boosts curl springiness and bounce while defining natural curl and wave patterns. And then it also reanimates curls with touchable body and flexible support. So reanimate suggests to me that this could be used as kind of a refreshing spray. So maybe we'll try that out on day 3. And if you're new here and you haven't seen any of my reviews, I give you my first impressions as I'm trying the products out. I show you the day 1 results along with days 2 and day 3. And I usually don't do any refreshing throughout that period so that you can see how well everything holds up without any interference from me. And if there is a refreshing product, I do try it out at the end of the day 3. I show you my day 3 results and then I'll put it in and try it out that way. So I might do that with this. I'm not sure that that's what they mean. I'll look online and see if that's what that is. I think probably that's what it is. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and try this out. And okay, so this is a very, very watery, thin spray. And ordinarily with a lot of sprays, I will spray it in my hands and then apply it. But considering this is so very watery, I'm just gonna go ahead and spray it directly in my hair. And you'll notice that I am lifting up my hair to make sure that I'm getting underneath. I do have fairly high density hair, so I just want to make sure that it's pretty evenly distributed throughout. And then I'm also going to take my detangling brush and run it through to further ensure even distribution. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle. I'm a licensed hairstylist with over 20 years of experience. And on this channel, I use those 20 years of experience to help you have healthy, happy hair. So now we're going to move on to the Curl Whirl Defining Cream. I do have my hair section off. I usually do it in 3 sections. I go from ear to ear, and then the middle section, and then up at the top. So we're going to start off with a small amount, and I emulsify in between my hands, and then I apply to my hair, and then I brush through for even distribution, and then I take vertical sections, I brush through to smooth it out, and then I apply a little bit of tension. I've got the hair trapped between the brush and my finger here, and then I brush it through and give it a little bit of a shake, and then toss it over my shoulder to get it out of my way. And now I'm noticing that my hair doesn't have a whole lot of slip with this, and that's probably because of the activating spray. Many of those work by giving your hair a little bit of grit, which is what helps it to form and hold on to those curls. Slippery hair, soft slippery hair will usually let the curls fall out very quickly or just won't even really form them so well. So putting a little bit of grit in there can help with that. And even though my hair doesn't feel gritty, I definitely feel less slip than I think I would if I didn't have that in there. And this is pretty typical for these kinds of sprays and activators. And if you'd like me to do a video all about sea salt sprays and curl activators, just let me know in the comments and I can put one of those together for you as well. Because Rizzo's Curls recently came out with I think it was a sea salt spray or something that I really want to try. I like a lot of the Rizzo's Curls products. In fact, I don't think there's a product they have that I don't like, so I really want to try that out. And putting together a video about sea salt sprays and curl activators would be a great excuse for me to have to purchase that. Not that I really need an excuse, because I'll probably just buy it anyway. And then after I brush style, I go ahead and scrunch. And I forgot to read the back of the packaging on this. So this one says that it instantly defined curls while delivering soft, pliable bounce and support. Smooths hairs, cuticles to stop frizz, static, and flyaways. Oh, well, that's pretty handy, especially in very dry areas like I happen to live in. Static can be a thing, so that's pretty cool. And let's see here, delivers lightweight moisture with a glossy shine, also a very good thing. Love some shine. Provides curl consistently with perfectly aligned patterns. Now, I'm not too sure how they can promise that one because that one is largely dependent on your genetics. Your curl pattern is not going to be so easily altered by a styling product. And then I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the styling just like I did before. And I'm going to use about that much. And again, emulsify between my hands. This is something that I do with every curl cream. I also do it with gels, and sometimes I do it with foams, not with mousses as much because they're a bit denser and they grow, and it kind of defeats the purpose to emulsify those. But with some of the lighter weight, foamy, watery type foams, the very airy ones, those I may emulsify. But it also kind of depends on the foam and what it is that I'm using it for. So as I'm styling my hair, I'm going to talk a little bit about why I review some of the products that I review. Like this one, Lanza, is not something that you see a whole lot of on social media, and that's precisely why I'm reviewing it. Just like with my Surface products, when I did the review for that, there were a lot of people mentioning in the comments that they had never heard of that brand before, and it wasn't a new brand. It's been around for a while. It's just not one that is very talked about on social media, and that's something that I kind of see with this brand as well. I don't see a lot of people talking about it on social media, and I kind of think that that's unfortunate that there are all these brands that really don't get a whole lot of hype, because there are specific brands that you hear about all the time, and while those are really great brands and they work well for a lot of people, everybody's hair is different, and also the results that people are trying to get are different as well. And other products exist that might get them better results for their hair type, and then also for the results that they're trying to achieve. And we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. I also tend to review quite a bit of high-end products on here, and I know some of you have made comments about that or want me to start reviewing more drugstore items, and I am working on trying a little bit more drugstore items, but one of the reasons why I choose to review higher end items, I kind of look at it from the perspective of when I'm buying something myself, the more something costs, the more reviews I'm going to look up. I'm going to be doing a lot of research into it. I'm going to read a lot about it. I'm going to look for a lot of videos or whatever I can find to see what people are saying about it versus a product that maybe costs less than $5, like something like this. I'm not really going to be checking a whole lot of reviews for something like this. Not that $5 is nothing. It is, I mean, every dollar counts for sure. However, I'm going to be less worried about something not working if I'm only spending $5 on it than if I'm spending $25 or $50 or, you know, whatever the case may be and whatever the product is. But the more expensive it gets, the more reviews I want to read or see or hear in order to make an informed decision on that purchase. Last section, we're just going to do the same thing up here as we did the other sections. And with this top section, I just take sections and go straight up. And this is what helps give me some lift and volume on the top. And then the reason why I style my hair the same in all of my reviews is because I know what this styling process does for my hair. Therefore, I can tell if the results that I'm getting are from the products and not from all of a sudden using a different styling technique. So I'm trying to be a little scientific and keep things controlled from one experiment to the next. And I kind of let that top fall where it's gonna fall. The only thing that I really kind of manipulate is just this little bit of a part up front, and I get it going in that direction versus really putting in a part on the top, just because I find that putting in a part, then my hair winds up being really flat along the part line, and I want a little bit of lift up there. Moving on to the Curl Flex Memory Gel, and this one says, shape and shift your distinct curls while blocking out humidity, frizz, and flyaways. Really good. Elevates spiral memory and provides long-lasting curl control without being stiff or sticky. Contains heat and UV protectant. Also really good. So I had somebody ask me what kind of heat protectant I use in my hair, and I don't necessarily use a separate heat protectant. A lot of the products that I use and like a lot tend to be multi-purpose. They will be a leave-in conditioner that also has UV and heat protectant, like a lot of the Evolve spray leave-in conditioners, or the Keratin hyaluronic acid detangling spray is more than a detangling spray. It's got protein, it's got moisture, it's got UV protection, it's got heat protection. So that's what I tend to do, is find products that have those in there already. So then I'm not adding yet another step to my already pretty lengthy process. I do like layering products, and if none of my products have a heat protectant, then I will grab one of those specifically for that reason. However, many of the products that I do like tend to already have a heat protectant and maybe even a UV protectant in them. So here is what this gel is looking like. It's kind of a creamy pudding gel type thing. So we'll go ahead and I'm just going to glaze it over and scrunch it in. And I do put this up near my roots because I want hold up there and I want definition up there. I just make sure that that's not the first place that I put it, because I don't want a ton of product up at my roots. I want enough to be able to give me the hold and definition I want without really weighing my hair down up there. And another good sized blob for the other side. Everything's applied and there's not really any frizz going on, so we're off to a really good start. I'm gonna go ahead and diffuse my hair. I'll be back and show you the results. And we're dry. So let's take a look at the frizz situation, and as you can see, there is very minimal frizz, which is great, and I do feel like I've got some pretty bouncy curls, and I don't really have a cast. However, it kind of looks like it in some spots. I think that's probably gonna go away as soon as I put on a serum and do a little bit of scrunching and a little bit of fluffing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. And I'm gonna use my Verb Ghost Oil for this. Not really sure if they have a serum. I'll have to look that up. I do know that the Curls line has some other products. I know that they have a shampoo and a conditioner. I didn't grab absolutely everything. I kind of grabbed the 3 things that I was the most interested in, just to kind of get an overall feel for the product line. I also think that part of the reason why I'm seeing kind of what looks to be a crunch but isn't really crunchy has to do with the amount that I used, because I might have forgotten to adjust for the fact that I just cut my hair, like literally just cut my hair before starting this video. And I forgot, it isn't as long as it used to be, so I don't need as much. I have got some great volume, some really nice soft curls, and true to their word, they are kind of nice and bouncy. Not gonna lie. I've got some pretty nice soft bouncy curls. So they kind of lived up to what they claimed. And as far as frizz-free and all of that goes, the frizz is pretty minimal. And as far as frizz-free goes, I never really completely buy into frizz-free. It's kind of an impossible standard. Even if you can be frizz-free immediately after doing your hair, it isn't really gonna stay that way. Frizz is just kind of part of having curly hair or wavy hair. It's just gonna frizz. So I'm not too worried about that, but we are starting off with a minimal amount of frizz, which is great, but I'm really, really loving the volume that I'm seeing and the nice soft bouncy curls. So if you're somebody who really likes more softly defined, bouncy, fluffy curls, This is definitely a line that you might want to check out, and I do feel like this is going to be also a really good line for those of you with fine, easily weighed down hair. Nothing feels really heavy whatsoever, and like I said, I got a little heavy-handed with everything because I'm used to my hair being a little bit longer, and I forgot to adjust, and I don't feel like my hair is being weighed down by having gone a little ham on the products. So overall, I think I've got some really nice results. I'm really happy with everything. And as far as the hold goes on this, I feel like it is a softer hold, so I'm not too sure how it's gonna hold up over the next couple of days. I'm thinking probably not a whole lot of longevity out of this, but that's okay. Sometimes I'm not looking for a lot of longevity. Sometimes I want like lots of volume and lots of softness and just bouncy, luscious curls, as opposed to really, really defined curls that are gonna last for a really long time. It all just kind of depends on my mood. And on a side note, I do believe my grays are now fully grown out. I'm not really seeing any artificial color left on the ends in there anywhere, so I made it. I didn't cave and color my hair. I actually made it and grew out all of my silvers. Now, I am noticing that they are kind of looking a little dull and a little bit yellowed, so I am going to have to start using some silver shampoos on there or some purple shampoos to help with that. And I will probably do a video kind of all about that, about keeping gray hair vibrant. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Just go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. But as far as today goes and today's results and everything and the products that I have in currently, I am very happy with what I'm seeing for right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end this today, and then I'll be back tomorrow and we'll take a look at what tomorrow is looking like. And either on day 2 or day 3, we'll talk about some of the ingredients in here. And I will see if that spray is also a refresher, and if it is, then I will try refreshing with it on day 3 as well. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, it's day 2, and all I've done is let my hair out of the bun and let it settle, and I think it's looking pretty darn good. I'm really impressed with this. This actually held up a lot better than I expected, considering that it is a softer hold. But let's take a close-up look at the frizz situation up here. And as you can see, there's definitely more frizz than what there was yesterday. There's also some stretched out curls and some wonky bits here and there, but I do pull my hair up in a bun when I sleep, so I pretty much expect that it's going to get stretched out in places here and there, and that's definitely nothing new. So yeah, I think it held up really, really good, and look at this volume. This is a lot of volume. I'm gonna give my hair a little bit of a shake, see how much more volume we can get out of this. Yeah, that is a lot of volume. It is huge, huge hair. So I'm really, really, really liking these products so far. And yeah, they're very lightweight. My hair feels really soft, and it's just the volume, holy moly. Yeah, I'm really, really, really happy and really liking these products. I did also really need a haircut, and that certainly is helping with some of these issues too, but even with a haircut, I'm not guaranteed all of this volume. So yeah, I'm very happy with the results, and I'm happy with how long this is really kind of holding up. I do still have some decently defined curls here and there, and that's not bad considering how lightweight these are and the light, fluffy, bouncy kind of hold that I have and the look that I have going on. So yeah, overall, great products. I'm really happy with them. We'll see you tomorrow, and I'll check in with you then, see how everything's looking, and also see if the curl booster or the curl activator can be used as a refresh product and see what that looks like. So I will see you tomorrow. So welcome to day 3 here, and look at this lion's mane. This is really big, voluminous hair. I actually really kind of like it. I have some really stretched out curls that have mostly turned to waves. I have to admit that yesterday I did have it up in a claw clip. I just put all of it up and had it kind of sticking out on the top of my head. And I did a video demonstrating that right here if you want to see how I did that. But otherwise, yeah, so this actually held up pretty well considering that it was up for most of the day yesterday, and I don't hate it. And there is more frizz today, obviously, because it's day 3. But other than that, I really am kind of liking this messy, wavy kind of thing I've got going on, and I love the volume. And all I did is my usual, where I take it out of the bun that I sleep in, let it settle for a little bit, and this is my hair settled. So let's give it a little bit of a shake, see if we can get more volume than I already have. And yep, that is some pretty big hair. So I did check on the curl booster. You can use it as a refreshing spray, which doesn't surprise me. And then because of the texture that it has in there, I have a feeling it's probably going to act a lot like a sea salt spray, but there is no sea salt in there. In fact, as far as ingredients go, all of these products contain a good amount of protein, which my hair absolutely loves. So that's probably part of the reason why they're really happy with these products. There's some glycerin in all of them, and that's a little higher on the list. And then there's also silicones in all 3 of these, way down low on the list. Now, I don't have any issues with silicones. I've been using silicones and sulfates on my hair for 30 years, probably more. And as long as you're using high quality products, it really isn't going to be a problem. It's not going to completely damage your hair. Your hair isn't going to fall out. It isn't going to do any of those things that has been thrown out there to make you avoid silicones and sulfates. It's all in the formulation of the product and the quality of the product. So let's go ahead and give this a try as a refreshing spray. And I'm not looking for any kind of perfection here or bringing back wash day look, because I just don't expect that that's what this is going to do. I think it's going to behave more like a sea salt spray, where it's going to add in a lot of texture, and then the little bit of moisture that's in here is going to kind of spring things up a little bit. Now there is a little bit of stickiness to this, which I don't love. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine with a lot of refresh products, is that they do have a little bit of a stickiness to them. And if you're going to spray them in and then kind of scrunch up your hair like what I'm doing now, it's going to, a lot of times the hair will stick to your hand and then cause more frizz because you're kind of pulling it away. So even though there is a little bit of stickiness to this by doing this, it isn't making that happen where it's just getting completely stuck to my hand. It's actually releasing quite well. I don't feel the stickiness when I'm using it in my hair. I feel it more kind of tacky as it dries on my hand. Okay, so that's all applied, and it is a little bit damp, especially over here since this was the last side that I put it on. So I'm just gonna let it dry for a little bit, and then I'll come back on camera, show you what it looks like after it's dried. So it's dry, and as you can see, it didn't really do anything for the frizz. So this is not something that is gonna help with frizz on days 2 or day 3. This is something that, as predicted, gives a lot of texture, and it did kind of help some of those wonky curls to become a little less wonky and spring up a little bit more, just because of the dampness of the product. Anytime wavy or curly hair gets wet or damp, it tries to revert back to its original state or its natural state. So that just kind of helps facilitate that. And then, yeah, like I said, there's texture. I can feel the texture on there, and it's not horrible. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. I generally don't like refreshing sprays, in part because of this. And I don't mind using sea salt sprays, but generally not on dry hair for the same reason. However, if you're somebody who has really, really super fine, soft, slippery hair that is lacking in volume, this might be the way to go. Something like this, a curl booster, a curl activator, a sea salt spray, something like that that adds a little bit of grit and a little bit of texture and makes your hair a little less slippery, is definitely going to help you with some volume, which my hair definitely has. And even though it has a little less volume after spraying it, that's just because I haven't fluffed it up. So let's go ahead and do that and see what we can get out of this for volume. Yeah, still tons of volume. If you love volume, and if your hair is volume challenged due to it being very slippery, I see this being a line that works really well for your hair. It is very lightweight. There's nothing weighing my hair down, as you can see, because it is ginormous, and it does add a little bit of something to your hair to make it a little less soft, a little less slippery. And if you don't mind feeling that on day 3 or whatever, then this won't be a problem for you to refresh on dry hair. It is, like I said, it's not awful and my hair doesn't feel super dry or anything like that. It just, I can feel a little bit of something on there. And that's completely normal with this type of spray when used on dry hair, as I mentioned earlier. That being said, I do like the effects that it gives me. I'm liking the texture, I'm liking the volume, so I'm not hating it overall. And overall, this is a line that I really, really like, and I'm definitely gonna be using them more going forward. Hopefully you found this review helpful. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.